The James River Armory M-14 Paratrooper, let's check it out. The M-14 was designed in 1959 to replace the M1 Garand, which was a battle-proven design. With Vietnam, they knew they had to kind of update things. And so in 1961, the M-14 started replacing these rifles on the front lines. In 1964, the M16 was accepted as the U.S. military rifle. So the M-14 had the dubious honor of being the shortest issued rifle to the U.S. military. But these are still being used today all over the world by U.S. military forces. So it's also the longest serving U.S. military rifle. This is a .308 caliber, it's semi-automatic. These are just excellent firearms. I did a review recently on the James River Armory standard M14, but today we're going to take a look at the Paratrooper. The Paratrooper has a 19.25-inch barrel compared to the standard model, which has a 22-inch barrel. They're both national match barrels. They're both forged receivers from Bula Defense, and these are excellent. And I want to thank Ben at Classic Firearms for setting this up and having this sent to me to do the test and evaluation and do some comparisons with the standard model. After my review of this James River Armory standard model, I just didn't know if the Paratrooper would live up to what I had really put this on a pedestal. I mean, this has been my favorite review of the year. It was just such a great shooting rifle. The quality is there. You can do up close, but you can also get out to extreme distances. I mean, this with the national match barrel, these guns are as capable as any on the market. And then we have just the 19.25-inch barrel. It's only 2 3/4 inches difference in barrel length, but knowing that this is just really capable of reaching out to super long distances. Plus, I was really concerned about recoil, and we'll talk a little bit more about that at the range. But one of the things about these rifles is that they're fairly heavy. The parts are really beefy, and so at the range, the balance, it just makes these a pleasure to shoot, both rifles. And really, the only difference between the two rifles is just barrel length. Otherwise, everything else is the same. But one big thing that I do love is this American black walnut stock. I mean, they are gorgeous, and they're done to what you would expect in a U.S. military arsenal. Of course, the forged receivers from Bula Defense set these apart from most of what you're seeing out there on the market. The original military versions were forged, but a lot of the commercial versions are cast. The Springfield Armory, which is one of the most popular, which I have a Springfield Armory SOCOM. I love that rifle. But it is a cast receiver, and the strength of the forged, I would prefer. Now, I still love my Springfield Armory, and it's excellent. But this is going to give you more life in the long run. Plus, you have Bula Defense bolts, you have the national match barrel, and a lot of the parts on here are from Bula Defense, which is one of the top producers of M14 parts in the world. Now guys, here is the difference between the barrel lengths, and it's just not that much. But really, out the distance, hitting the 1,000-yard range, I would definitely rather have the 22-inch barrel. But the focus today is the Paratrooper. We're going to make sure the gun is unloaded. There's your magazine catch right there. You kind of rock it out, and you bring it back in like this. Then we'll check to make sure the gun's unloaded and it's empty. This is a piston-driven, gas-operated semi-automatic rifle, and they did make the full automatic versions in these, but honestly, they were uncontrollable. Now right here is your charging handle, and it's part of the operating rod, and as we bring it back, notice what the bolt does. It kind of rotates and then locks up. Here we have a stripper clip guide, and then back here we have our adjustable sight, which is up to military spec. It is an aperture sight that's protected by ears, and you have your adjustments on either side. And the markings are in the military style U.S. rifle, 7.62 millimeter, M-14, James River Armory, and your serial number. Here you can see forged in the USA and then Burgall, North Carolina. The black walnut stocks on these are just gorgeous. You have your handguard on top and of course the rest of your stock. The barrel is a National Match barrel. It's medium profile. You have your gas adjustment here. You have a bayonet lug, front sight, and then we have our USGI flash hider. But all the metal parts are finished very well. It does have a sling swivel on the front. Then here at the butt of the stock, we have a sling loop. The stock has embossed markings. Here is a P with a circle. Then Armory markings here right above the trigger. Now here we have a metal butt plate, and this actually comes up, just like so. And the reason why this was designed this way is this actually fits over your shoulder. So when you're firing full automatic, it keeps the rifle from rising up. But this actually is pretty effective even in rapid semi-automatic fire. That makes a huge difference. Keeps that muzzle really flat. There's a small trap door here at the back for your cleaning supplies. Just open it up. You can put your cleaning kit in there. Classic Firearms sent one of their Austrian military 308s. This is 147 grain. It's manufactured by Hertenberger. Good quality ammo, brass, non-corrosive. And I believe it's like $200 for a battle pack of 360 rounds. So good buy on these. It's good hot loads, and they come in these 20-round boxes. Now at the range, I was really curious to see what kind of difference in recoil between the standard 22-inch model and the 19.25-inch model with the Paratrooper. And guys, I'll tell you, just shooting them side by side, which I wanted to do just to see, you know, what the felt recoil was. And really, it was very mild, the difference. The balance on the Paratrooper is nice. It's not so long, it's not so big. It's more compact and easy to maneuver. Reliability was excellent, just like the standard model. We had no malfunctions. One time I didn't quite seat the magazine fully in and fired the round, and then it just didn't fire on the second time. I adjusted the magazine, and that was the only issue we had the whole time. It's just a very shootable rifle. In 308, even though it's a pretty high-powered caliber, the way that this thing is built with the gas system, it makes it a very soft shooting gun. And then of course you put the muzzle brake on the end, and that also tames somewhat, and just the heft of the rifle. Now, one of the big things that the M1A is known for is accuracy, especially with a National Match barrel. But without optics, it's really difficult to get a real good pinpoint group, especially out to distance. So I've got one of the Sadlac scope mounts we're going to attach to the standard, and we're going to take it out to 1,000 yards, and we're going to see what kind of accuracy. But from all reports that I've seen, the accuracy on these are excellent. Now, we did take it out to 50 yards to shoot groups because I just wanted to make sure where I was on paper. Now, with the iron sights, I just wanted to get a decent reading on the accuracy. This was my first group, 5-shot group, and here another group, 5 shots. And that was using the Austrian 147 grain ammunition. And one thing about the ammunition is that it will shoot 7.62 by 5.1 as well as the 308. And that's one thing that sometimes the Garand could be kind of finicky with 30-06 ammunition. With this, you don't have to worry. It's built to have that kind of a tolerance to be able to use different type ammunitions without any issues. Now, the difference in the barrel length to me is not going to make that much difference unless you really get out to extreme distances. If you're getting out to 1,000 yards, I would much rather have the 22-inch barrel. Now, it comes with a James River Armory Do Everything manual, and this actually goes through all the breakdown processes of the rifle, a lot of information. Right here at the trigger guard, just pull down. If it's a very tight rifle, there's a hole here you can put a tool in and bring it through. Grab hold of the trigger and just pull the action right out. Now you can see how big and beefy the parts are in your trigger group. And of course, right here is your safety. If we pull that back, it actually blocks the hammer from being able to go forward, and the sear. It actually locks it right into place. And so it's a very secure safety. Bula is also marked on the trigger assembly as well. To remove the stock, grab a hold of the receiver, and on a padded bench, just bring your stock down like that, and it'll just loosen up the action. And that way you have your action out, and of course you can see all the different, the recoil spring, the gas system. We're not going to go ahead and break all of this down now. We'll do it at a later date when we show a complete disassembly of this rifle. But the main reason I wanted to go ahead and get it to this point is for you to see the inside. And you can see Bula markings right here on the operating rod, the barrel under here, and of course it's marked underneath. Just a very beautiful finished piece. I mean, this looks like it's nitride finish, and just the interior of this rifle is just excellent. Of course, here with the inside of the receiver, just very well done. And again, this rifle has not been cleaned. Then marked right here on the receiver, Bula Defense Systems, Cleveland, Ohio. The James River Armory, though, is located in Burgaw, North Carolina. The total length on the Paratrooper is 41 inches. The length of pull is 13.2 inches, and the weight is 9 pounds, 6.2 ounces. And that's according to my scale. Now here we have the Springfield Armory SOCOM 16. The Paratrooper doesn't look so small now, but this is a very short 16-inch barrel compared to the 19.25-inch barrel of the Paratrooper. So it's considerably shorter. Another thing is they have a Picatinny rail built in for long eye relief scopes or for red dots. This is really made for more of a CQB close quarter type firearm. While this is still accurate out to distance, the James River Armory is definitely going to be able to reach out farther with the 19.25-inch barrel. But again, cast receiver versus forged receiver. Now, I really like this setup. It's really handy. It's short, but it is somewhat heavy. But with this fiberglass type or the polymer stock, it weighs a lot less. And guys, this runs about $200 more than the James River Armory with a forged receiver versus a cast. Now, there are definitely some extra features on this one, but you're still getting a lot of quality and the National Match barrel on the James River Armory. I'm not throwing this one out. I love the SOCOM 16, but I think for what you're getting, James River Armory is superior. Which brings us to the price, which is $1499.99, or a penny short of $1,500. But again, this is very comparable to most of your commercial M14s, and yet you're getting some features on this one that are superior. So again, I want to thank Ben at Classic Firearms and the guys at Bula Defense and James River Armory. This is a beautiful collaboration between these guys, and they are producing just some of the best M14 M1As out on the market. There's a lot of different options out there, but I'll tell you what, if you're really looking for a top-notch rifle in a classic design, you're not going to beat the James River Armory M14, whether it's the standard or the Paratrooper. And guys, if you're used to shooting the AR-15 or even the AK-47, if you're going to go for the M14, you better man up a little bit. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. It's really not that big of a deal. I didn't really know if the Paratrooper would live up to it. I mean, I was pretty just overwhelmed. And then here at the butt of the stock, we have another sling swivel. And then here at the bottom, we have a sling loop. And then here at the bottom of the, here at the butt of the stock, we have a sling loop. And guys, even And in 1962, they began to